that spit on Christians making their pilgrimage there. They attack the local Christian community, which has been there uninterrupted since the time of Jesus. They say, well, spitting on Christians is a tradition here. How can Christians support banning the gospel, spitting on Christians? That makes my skin crawl. The Talmud is the real Jewish holy book because Jews believe that Moses didn't just receive the Ten Commandments. They believe that Moses also received an oral law from God that was never written down. It was passed down orally through the generations among the Jews. When the temple was destroyed after Jesus' coming, the Jews wrote down the oral tradition because they feared it would be lost without the temple being a central gathering place. This becomes the Jerusalem and Babylonian Talmud. Go into the Talmud and says Jesus is in hell, in excrement, his mother's a prostitute, he's an illegitimate child. People realized this in the Middle Ages. In France and Spain and Italy, the original Judeo-Christian were the Jews that converted to Christianity. And they came to the Christians in these places and said, you will not believe what Jews believe, what they write in their holy book. And when the Christians found out, they burned the Talmud. And there was these big anti-Semitic so-called expulsions and so on. I don't know how we're going to be in league with the people that reject, hate, spit on, and want to ban his word in the Holy Land. I don't know how we come together as friends. That, to me, is unacceptable.
Get in the government and pass a law that says the people making hardcore pornography will be put in jail. The people responsible for destroying and hollowing out our society will be put in jail. We know who's producing the pornography, by the way. It's the same people producing the wars and producing the mixed-race advertisements and the people producing all these Hollywood pictures. It's all the same people. We need to look at pornography and say, you are culpable. You have responsibility. Just like the people in the pharmaceutical companies and the arms contractors and everybody else, somebody must take action. The people that are doing this to this country are real. They have addresses. They give money to politicians. We know who they are. These people have to be held accountable for what they've done. It has been done to us. Not an accident that this society's been created. Somebody's profiting off of Pornhub. Somebody's profiting off of 11-year-olds watching this stuff and their lives being destroyed. Somebody made money off of that. They created algorithms, they hired Google engineers, they hired engineers from foreign countries to come over here and to write SEO-friendly search algorithms so the 11-year-olds would find this stuff and get hooked on it and they'd be addicted for life. Where's the accountability for them? That should be a crime, and it's across the board. This is just one issue among others that until very recently conservatives just simply would not talk about. They want to talk about regulation, or they come up and say, I'm going to be a business-friendly conservative, whatever the fuck that is. Enough is enough. We need to answer. Israel is not avoiding civilian casualties. This is what our government are not members of the same race. Christians don't prosecute wars like that, or at least they shouldn't. And what's interesting is that, for decades, Jews like then they go and lecture Americans and say, you naive Westerners have no idea what it's like in the Middle East. It's bedlam. Bombing and the Lavon affair. Look into the USS Liberty and all the wars and everything that's gone on. Their motto is by way of deception. Conspiracy theory. Flags. Will you explain this to me? How did you allow this to happen? That doesn't make our liberal elites feel so good. When it comes to Jews in Israel, they are Nazis. They are fascists. When it comes to Hamas attacking Israel, they say, give them hell, crush them, kill them all. You have every right to take them out. Give them hell, Netanyahu. They're freaking terrorists. Level them. Turn it into a resort. What? I thought you're liberal. Aren't you going to stand shoulder to shoulder in solidarity with the Palestinians? They're getting their justice. Hey, it's not pretty. And yeah, maybe they burned some stuff down. Maybe some innocent people died. But you know what? They're angry. That's their anger because of injustice. And they retort, they say, no, they just hate us. They're anti-Semitic. They've been anti-Semitic for 3,000 years. It's the oldest form of hatred. Like, these guys have BlackRock. They have nukes. They have Wall Street. They have Hollywood. They have AIPAC. And it's like, I can't even have a Twitter account. How are we going to defeat the Jews? And then you think if Elon Musk can't beat these guys, who can? And then you think it's not getting better, it's getting worse. So this must be the end of the world. This must be the apocalypse. They have been privileged with this level of control because this is the prophesied end times. They have been given the land back. They have been given the bomb. They control America, and America controls the world. And the protocols of the elders of Zion are hurtling towards completion. It's so over. It's so evil, and she started destroying everything, and so God took her out.
I mean, where they pushed for equality with Adam and Eve in the Jewish version, and then the feminism took over with Lilith.
Against high society and civilization. Pretty fucking sweet if you ask me. They're taking the ring bell and a steel chair to civility.
part of it. The right wing of organized Jewry in the world can never be a part of that because they're not Christian. They reject the school. It is promoting basically Satanism. It is promoting transgenderism and homosexuality and feminism and abortion and just abominations all over the world. And we need a radical change. I mean, we can all recognize that American society is dying because there's a cancer inside of it. There's a cancer in the center of it, and it is radiating throughout the entire country. It's poisoning everything. It's poisoning the children. It's poisoning the food and water. It's poisoning the communities. The rot is touching everything. And the only way that we're going to remove it is with a tremendously destabilizing event. Just like it took World War I and the complete collapse of the Russian military to depose the Tsar, just like it took the breakup of the Soviet Union for Russia to abandon communism. And like everything else throughout history, it does require this historical inflection point. It requires a big shakeup where the ordinary rules don't apply, where the ordinary is suspended. Think about all the tropes about vampires. They're afraid of crosses. They're from Eastern Europe. They're very pale. They suck blood. You know, they drink blood. Like, so the vampires, the Ashkenazi Jews,